Driver joining us. His name is Faustino. Give him a big round of applause. Faustino is going to be taking us around the back lot today. Last but not least, I'll introduce you guys to our celebrity co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Lauren!
And the greatest driver.
Faustino!
You're the best. I love it. Even though...
Lauren.
Both me $5.
Alright, that's
I know you
enough.
guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety.
Yes, that's right. We've got just a few safety rules to go over here before we get too far into the tour. The first one is the most important. Please remember, in the event of an emergency, and this would be like a medical emergency, you drop something, you're having sound or video issues, don't panic, just reach up, pull the emergency cord. It runs right over the tops of your heads, down the center of each car. Once you pull the cord, that will stop everything so that I can come back and assist you as soon as it's safe. Yes, remain seated throughout the tour. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. No, that's bad. No smoking, no vaping. Do not use your selfie stick, but be prepared. Our tour today features things like loud noises, fire effects, some tram movements, and water effects. So have your cameras ready, but do keep an eye on them. We would hate for those to be damaged. As we make our way down the Universal movie timeline on either side of our tram, we can see all these movie posters here. And the movie posters represent just a few of the thousands of films Universal Studios has released in our over 100 years in the movie business. So Universal started on this property as just a 200-acre chicken ranch. Today we're just under 400 acres, which makes Universal Studios Hollywood the busiest and biggest working film and TV studio in the entire world. As we head down the hill, you guys will have the opportunity to see just how large the movie studio property is. Technically, Universal is its own city. We have our own zip code. There's a dry cleaners. There's a gym on the lot. Over here on the right-hand side, this is our fire station. Fire Station 51. You're not going to find any actors here. This is a real working fire station. Just next to the fire station, though, see this green fence? On the other side of that is the Jurassic World ride down on the lower lot. So on this level, the movie studio and the theme park, they're right next to each other. And as we come to the bottom of the hill, you're going to see a lot of construction on the right here for what will eventually be Super Nintendo World, just like the one they have at Universal Studios in Japan. So be on the lookout for that. Now on the left-hand side, this is where most production takes place. This area is called the front lot. And the front lot is full of these structures called sound stages, like this one on the left. That's sound stage 12. Previously home to NBC's The Voice, the hit singing competition, and you'll see that logo here. As you know, if you're watching the newest episodes of The Voice with Ariana Grande, they're still filming on the lot, but not usually in this sound stage. Although stage 12 is one of our largest, and it's been home to some of the biggest sets in movie history. So Scarface's mansion, the visitor center from Jurassic Park, Whoville. These are all great examples of interior or indoor sets, and they're going to be built inside sound stages just like this one. From the inside, this is what those stages will look like. They're just giant warehouses, very, very thick walls, making them about 98% soundproof. Right now we have a lot of new TV shows working on the lot. Some of them you might have heard of. Right now, stages 16 and 17 are currently being used for filming season 2 of one of my new favorite shows on HBO. It's called Hacks with Gene Smart. So they're working on the lot. And then you'll also see like this little base camp area over here. This is for a TV show called Bel Air, and it's a reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel going to be a drama instead of a comedy. So that's also working out here. Lots of these big trailers out here, the star wagons. That's where our actors and crew can hang out in between shooting scenes. Usually you'll find like a bathroom. There's like a TV in there. If you're like a really big star, sometimes they'll have a shower in there for you. Over on the left-hand side, soundstage 21. This soundstage was previously used for filming scenes from Saved by the Bell, the new class with Elizabeth Berkley and Mario Lopez. Before that, it's where we built the Cloud9 Superstore for the NBC sitcom Superstore with America Ferrera.
It's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act. Your face stays where it is, it's gonna get pushed.
So as you guys are seeing, the insides of these stages, they can look like absolutely anything. We're going to pass by a bunch more of these sound stages. You'll see them on our right-hand side. They call this area a sitcom alley because we film a lot of sitcoms over here. Classic NBC shows have filmed here, like A Different World with Jasmine Guy and Lisa Bonet, Coach with Craig T. Nelson, Parenthood with Lauren Graham and Bonnie Bedelia. Over here on the right, just past the Minions, this is where we did The Good Place with Ted Danson and Kristen Bell. And then Ted Danson is still working in this same soundstage on his new TV show, Mr. Mayor. You guys can see the signs for that TV show over here on the right-hand side. So this time of year, it's mostly television working on the lot, but the sound stages can be used for movies, music videos, commercials, you name it. Before we can begin filming though, all production starts with just an idea in somebody's head. And that's where these offices on the left-hand side come in. These tan and white bungalows, this is where you're going to find your idea people, writers, producers, directors. So you may find that you recognize some of the names of the production companies out here, like 7 Bucks Productions. You'll see on the parking spots on the left, that's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's production company. So they did his TV show, The Young Rock. We've got Mark Platt Productions out here. They just released their newest movie musical, Dear Evan Hansen, starring Ben Platt. Originally, though, all of these structures on the left, these were built to be dressing rooms. So they don't really look like offices because back in the like 40s, 50s, and 60s, this is where you would find stars like Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Lucille Ball. Over here on the left is Bungalow 5195. This one previously belonged to Alfred Hitchcock. That's his silhouette out front. So this is where Alfred Hitchcock worked on his TV series, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and he worked in that office right up until his retirement in 1980. But nowadays, the production offices, oh my goodness, that squirrel just scared me right now. Okay, I just saw it moving out of the corner of my eye and I was like, oh, ready to fight. So the production offices nowadays, they look like these gray buildings that you're seeing on the left-hand side. And then behind these gray office buildings, there's another set of really big sound stages, and these are brand new. These were just built a couple of years ago. Back here right now, these stages are being used for season 2 of Kenan, starring Kenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live. And they've been filming out here, I think both seasons of that TV show worked inside of these stages back here, 22 and 23. These sound stages are built really large, so we can also film in front of a live studio audience out here. These sound stages have been used for TV shows like the Will and Grace reboot that we did a couple of years ago, that filmed out here. This is also a sound stage used for America's Got Talent, World of Dance with Jennifer Lopez, and truth be told, you guys, I've even seen a Kardashian birthday party happen out here a couple of years ago. You might remember too, if you follow them on Instagram, they had that big birthday party with like the big inflatable baby's head, and you like walked in. Yeah, it was wild, but that was all out here inside of stages 22 and 23. So it doesn't necessarily have to be productions working in these sound stages, but that's normally what's going to be working out here. As we pull further forward, you guys will also see just a little bit over here on the left-hand side of our metro sets, or our metropolitan sets as we refer to them, and I'll show you what they look like up on your screens here. So obviously because this can be any major metropolitan city, downtown LA, New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, Nevada. And like I said, if you watch a lot of the NBC sitcoms, that's most of what's going to be working on the lot. So TV shows like Mr. Mayor, Keenan, Rutherford Falls, all of those use our Metro sets pretty regularly. Somebody just asked me on my last tour, so I'll show you guys this little clip too. This area is also where we have our Courthouse Square set from Back to the Future. So people always wonder, they're like, is that set still here? Where is it? It's being used all the time. And we just kind of change this set so our audience doesn't realize it's that same iconic set from 1985's Back to the Future. So all they're going to do is change things like the landscaping, they repaint, remodel, maybe even change the camera angle. But to our audience, we don't really realize it's the same set that we're using over and over and over again. And like I said, we're going to head up the hill in just a moment, so you guys will be able to see a little bit more of this area, specifically our New York Street set, very recognizable for movies like Captain America, The First Avenger, Transformers, The Amazing Spider-Man, lots of those big action sequences that take place in the middle of a city. Most of the time that city is going to be our Metro sets. Universal Studios has the largest city sets like this in the industry, so even if you go take the studio tour over at like Warner Brothers or Paramount, you'll see sets similar to this, but Universal has the largest. Ours are about 4 acres of the back lot. Now, of course, I've been talking to you guys about our New York Street set, but our celebrity co-host, Jimmy Fallon, is no stranger to the Big Apple. And in fact, here he is now, live from New York, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just, just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here in the Universal lot.
Now, if you guys take a look off to the left as we head upstairs, you'll also see a little bit of the set decoration out here. Right now, the project that's working out here, we're not allowed to mention on the studio tour, but you will notice we can use context clues to figure out it probably takes place in the past, right? So we've got a phone booth out there. I don't know when was the last time you saw one of those in person. I haven't seen one in a while. Those vehicles out there are from the past. So all of this area is a very popular filming location. Like I said, you're going to see it in a lot of the NBC sitcoms that film out here. And these are really large scenes on a very large set. And this is just what we can create with physical sets. We can also build entirely digital worlds as well, like we did for Peter Jackson's King Kong. So as we head back to Skull Island, make sure you have your mask on, get your 3D glasses ready. Hold on to your 3D glasses. This will definitely come in handy a bit later on in our tour. Now, that epic battle was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, measuring in at 180 feet wide and 40 feet tall. Peter Jackson and his team at Weta Digital designed the film for us. Weta has won 6 Academy Awards. They worked on movies like Jungle Book, Avatar, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit, and King Kong.
The audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming out and they're seeing them on this side and the T-Rex is on the other side. Shot. We have to take into account that they're looking in all directions. Also, when we
our tram get pulled on screen by those T-Rex dinosaurs. That does mean that we are all riding in something that we call on a film set a picture car, just like the ones you guys will see on our left-hand side. And keep in mind, these are not the only picture cars that we'll see on the lot today, but these are definitely some of the most recognizable vehicles. A picture car is any car that appears on screen in a movie, TV show, music video, or a commercial. Out here on the left, we've got vehicles like the Ford Cobra Kid car from Knight Rider, the Magnum PI Ferrari 308, which is not a real Ferrari, but a VW bug engine seated on a dune buggy chassis, because the real Ferrari engine was actually way too loud to use for filming Magnum PI. But a picture car does not have to have an engine. It doesn't have to run like our Flintstones vehicles. They would be towed behind a production truck for filming. And of course, we can't bring up picture cars without mentioning one of our most successful film franchises, Fast and Furious. Earlier this year, we released F9, the 9th installment in the Fast saga. And then next year, Fast 10, your seatbelts, because Fast and Furious 10 is coming. On the very end, the tank that you guys see, that's made mostly out of plywood, believe it or not. It's left over from Transformers, the final battle scenes between the Autobots and the Decepticons. Those were filmed in our Metro sets. And we'll see a similar lightweight vehicle like that in just a moment. Right now, we're leaving behind Motor Alley. We're headed for a remote island off the coast of Costa Rica.
To Jurassic Park.
Aw, thanks, John Hammond. So as we travel through the gates of Engine, you can see set pieces, vehicles, and these all appear in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, including the mobile lab over on the left. It's from the Lost World, Jurassic Park, starring Jeff Goldblum. This is also made mostly out of plywood. It's hollow on the inside, painted to look like metal. You can tell it's plywood though if you take a look over your shoulder. See the back window? So they wanted to make it, oh no, oh my goodness, so sorry about this, you guys. I had no idea this was going to happen, but it is Jurassic Park after all, and we want to make sure you guys have an authentic experience here, so I guess what I'm trying to say is you're welcome. As we pull further forward on either side of our tram, we've got all of these giant prehistoric tree trunks. These are obviously fake. There's always like one person on board who's like, what? Yeah, these are fake. And then the greenery that you see in this area, this is all stuff that's brought in to create this tropical island environment. So if you come to the back lot and you're looking for places to film, by the way, that's called location scouting. If you're doing that and you're like, I don't like any of these sets, I don't want to use any of this, that's okay, because we can still create something for you out of what we already have here. So right now we're going to pull into Old Mexico, and this set appears in Lady Gaga's Judas music video. It's in Janet Jackson's Escapade music video. This set also appears as Peru and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But today we have a weather demonstration set up for you guys. And you're going to see it on the left-hand side here. And keep in mind, what we're going to see here is exactly how we create rain for a movie, for a TV show, music video. It's a very simple setup. Thunderstorm in particular, like the ones that you tend to see in the Jurassic Park movies, it's a combination of a couple different illusions, right? Because a thunderstorm is rain, thunder, and lightning. So we're going to put all these things together, and you guys will see it on the left. The rain, pretty obvious, right? Just an overhead sprinkler. Notice how the water doesn't just fall straight down, because that doesn't look like real rain on camera. The camera only has one eye, this one right here, so things tend to look a little bit flat on camera, so we try to work in as many angles as we can. So with rain, we want to tilt the sprinklers, that way the water is going to fall at an angle, and that's of course going to look much more realistic. This time of day it's a little bit difficult to see, but the strobe light going, that's our lightning. And then we've got our, oh no. No. Okay, we have some flooding in the area. If you're sitting on the left, you might want to duck. Of course, our Flash Flood is a classic Universal attraction. One of our very first, in fact. Here it is in the movie Big Fat Liar. Stunt double, we're getting washed away too across the border, leaving old Mexico, entering the Old West. This is 6 Points, Texas. So this set will look very familiar to people who saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. They did a lot of filming over on our left-hand side in and around the Blue Opera House set that we're going to pass by here. And for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they brought in truckloads full of dirt and they covered over all the paved roadways out here. So in that movie, 6 Points, Texas, kind of looks like this.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I heard this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot here.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now let's see you mount up and get out of town when we get here.
All right. Well, I'll see you again, pal.
Don't even count on me. Again.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
Well, alrighty, Jimmy, we're gonna mosey on out of here too. 6 Points, Texas gets that name from the 6 different intersections, all built off this one central roadway. So 100 years ago, when Universal Studios first opened, this was the most popular filming location on the backlot. And really that's just because 100 years ago, movies were silent, and most of those silent films were westerns. So the first year Universal Studios was open, we would take the 6 streets that make up 6 Points, put one movie on each street, and film them all at the same time. So the first year we were open, we were able to film 200 westerns all in that one spot, and 6 Points holds the world record for having the most movies filmed all in one location. So in this second half of the studio tour, this is where we'll see a lot more of the historic sets on the back lot. A great example of that over on the right, that's Little Europe, and we're going to drive right through the middle of this set. Little Europe was originally built back in 1921, but it gained popularity in the 30s because this is where we did lots of like monster movies, which we became known for: Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, not the one with Brendan Fraser, the original. More recently, though, you've probably seen this set in episodes of The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead from this location, the afterlife club. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
So, if you didn't get to watch The Good Place, you should definitely go back and watch it. It's one of my favorite shows that NBC has done in the last like 10 years easily. And this TV show, it's still streaming. You can watch it on like Netflix, Hulu, NBC.com. Up close, though, we can see inside these windows and doorways, and notice how there's literally nothing on the inside. So these sets are what we call facades. That word in French, it means false front, and that's most of the sets on the back. They're just going to be the fronts and the sides. That's really all you see on screen, so that's all we have to build. This area off to the right where you see all these vehicles, this is called the Court of Miracles. This is where they filmed a lot of the dance numbers for one of my favorite movie musicals, Roger Hammerstein's Cinderella, starring starring Brandy Norwood, television's Moesha, and the late great Whitney Houston. This set appears as Genovia in The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement with Anne Hathaway, and parts of this set were used as Tortuga and Port Royale for Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Okay, we don't have time to talk about this anymore, but that is Little Europe. Historic set, and it's built on the very edge of the backlot, so we're basically as far away as we can possibly get from the theme park and still be on Universal property. So for the rest of the tour, we're going to loop around and head back upstairs, and in order to do that we have to take a little shortcut. We're going to go through Sound Stage 50. So as we head inside, I'll remind you, make sure you have your mask on up over your nose, under your chin, and please make sure to remain seated, because this is a very bumpy roadway. And you don't need your 3D glasses in here. You can just hold on to those for right now. So this is a soundstage dressed to look like a San Francisco subway station or a BART station. I told you, the inside of these stages can look like absolutely anything. This set will look really familiar to people who watch the TV show Bones with David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel. I'll show you how this set appeared in that episode.
Look, there's six. I told you the guy behind his arms.
That's with the FBI?
Yeah, we heard about the new remains.
That's it. Right over there.
You alright?
So as you guys take a look around here, you're going to notice these signs that say hot set, and that just means everything. Well, okay, that was weird. Did you guys? Okay. Just a California tremor. No need for alarm. We get these all the time. Oh no. Wait a moment, back there on the left, the ceiling's coming down on you, look out! Alright, you guys just remain seated. Remain calm. Earthquakes only last a few seconds. It's gonna be fine. Just a few more seconds probably. Okay, you know what, forget it. Everybody just grab a handrail. Maybe a love run, kids. This is the big one. Woo, that was close. Oh no. The water main! Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, this is the end. If you have any last words, just shout it out right now. I love you, Beyonce! Oh, what is it? Never mind. Actually, never mind, you guys. Faustino's got the doors open. Give yourselves a big round of applause, everybody. That was Earthquake, the big one. We call that a large-scale mechanical effect, and I'll show you what it looks like in that episode of Bones. So with Bones, they added in a bunch of stuff here. There's real people, stunt performers, CGI, all of this to make this effect appear a little bit more exciting for our audience who's going to be watching this at home on TV. But you know what? We've had a lot of excitement for one tour. And what I'd like to do now is just slow everything down. I want to take you guys to a really relaxing, really peaceful part of the property. It's called Amity Island. You're going to love it. I'm sure you've heard. Yes, they had a problem with a shark. You guys, let's try to move on from that. The shark is up on the pier on the right. We got him. And I say we. I don't mean to brag, but it was actually my boyfriend, Scuba Steve, who caught the shark. Oh, there he is now. So Steve is just making sure everything is safe as our tram. Oh no. guys. Glad you got to meet my ex-boyfriend, Scuba Steve. Really great guy. So cool. You would have liked him a lot. But tell you what, at this point, we can really only save ourselves. So we're going to take cover behind this highly flammable wooden pier. What could go wrong? First celebrity on the tour, Hollywood heavyweight Bruce the Shark. And you know Bruce, he's been terrifying grown men and small children alike since 1975. What a career. All jokes aside though, the shark we just saw actually works much better than the one Steven Spielberg used while he was filming Jaws. The shark that Spielberg used sank on the first day of filming.
That's a much more shark didn't really work probably at all. Wherever you were on that year thing, that is not working for me. Just wait for that. Just wait. The shark was rolling up the wild
So once Jaws was finally released in theaters, the movie was a hit, the very first ever summer blockbuster. Spielberg named the shark Bruce after his attorney, his lawyer at the time. That's a true story. If you guys have seen the Disney Pixar movie Finding Nemo, you'll remember the shark in that movie is also named Bruce, and that's not a coincidence. That's a reference to the movie Jaws. Now, in this part of our back lot, this is where everything gets a lot more residential, much more suburban. We've got Elm Street over here on the left. You see a lot of insurance commercials working out here. They did a Zara shoot out there yesterday. Over on the right is the Chicken Ranch, made famous from the 1982 movie musical, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. And up on your screens, you're kind of seeing how this area has changed throughout the years, including the set on the left. This is just the entrance that we'll see today, but this is Wisteria Lane from ABC's hit show, Desperate Housewives. If there is one thing everyone in suburbia appreciates, it's a so with our Wisteria Lane set, this is an incredibly difficult set to see on the studio tour these days, because as I told you guys earlier, right now they're in the process of filming a lot of the new seasons of fall shows and brand new shows that will air in the fall. So a lot of this is happening on Wisteria Lane, and you can see why. This is a set that can be used over and over again because it's just a regular neighborhood. So we can tell a lot of different stories using that set. And Wisteria Lane has been here for a really long time. Originally it was built back in the 1940s. Nowadays you're going to see it in episodes of the Netflix series Never Have I Ever. The lead character is this girl named Davy. She's played by an actress whose name I've been practicing on the studio tour, but I'm not good at saying it yet. Matre Ramakrishna. And this character lives on Wisteria Lane. She plays Davy on the show. So that's a set that's constantly being repainted, remodeled. They'll change the landscaping out front. And we do the same thing with sets, props, set decoration. Picture cars is another great example. Over here on the right, a lot of these vehicles have come to the theme park by way of the movies. We've got like Mr. Bean's Mini Cooper from Mr. Bean's Holiday, Dominic Toretto's Charger. My favorite vehicle out here is the piano truck because I feel like that one's been here the longest. It's from a movie that is older than a lot of people on board right now. It's called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou with George Clooney. So ever since that movie came out, that vehicle's been in the theme park. And of course, right now we're getting a little sneak peek into our Terror Tram maze as we round the corner. So if anybody's staying a little bit later on for Halloween Horror Nights, you'll be back here. The Tram maze is built right in front of two of the most iconic sets still left standing in Hollywood today. The Bates Motel and the Psycho House. Obviously we can't see too much of the Bates Motel right now, but like I said, you guys will be able to see it up close later on. And as we head up the hill, on our left-hand side, we're going to see the original Psycho house. So this is the same house from the 1960 film directed by Alfred Hitchcock. As we pass by, you might spot Mother. She's up there in a second-story window. Now, of course, Norman's backyard is an absolute disaster. This is one of the most intricate and most colossal sets ever constructed on the Universal property. We are looking at the crash site set from Steven Spielberg's sci-fi thriller, War of the Worlds.
Sit down to talk about the War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Well, you're doing good. Keep doing something. Listen, now, man. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed.
So to answer the number one question on everybody's mind, yes, that's a real airplane, a Boeing 747. It was brought here and destroyed specifically for the film War of the Worlds. This entire set, everything that you see all around you, this took about 3.5 months and more than $250,000 to create. And that's all for 4 minutes of that entire movie. Yeah, what Spielberg wants, Spielberg gets. I guess you're not going to argue with him. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, this is it. This is the biggest set that we will see on the back lot today. Not quite. Over here on the right-hand side, we're coming out to Falls Lake, and this, it doesn't look like a filming location, but this is actually one of our biggest. Over here on the right-hand side, all of this is used to film our CGI scenes. We can take our actors to almost impossible places out here. One of the biggest scenes in the last couple of years filmed on Falls Lake is this scene from the movie Sully, starring Tom Hanks. So for this scene, they brought in the plane, the water, the people. This is all real. What's not real is everything that you see behind those people, like the cloudy sky, the city off in the distance. That is just the blue wall. So they bring the actors and the set pieces out there, they film in front of this wall, and then later on they just digitally erase the blue background. So this is similar to how they filmed scenes for the movie Dunkirk with Tom Hardy and Harry Styles, that also filmed out here. Beyonce's Formation music video filmed scenes on Falls Lake. Movies like Jurassic World, Hunger Games, Catching Fire. So it's lots of big productions that work out here. And in order to get around this entire area, we're just going to take a little shortcut on our way back to the theme park here. We're going through the Sullivan Truck Repair Garage. So again, as we head inside, just make sure you have your mask on, up over your nose, under your chin. You don't need your 3D glasses just yet, but hold on to those.
This might be more serious than I thought. Just now. This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me
That does mean our tour is coming to a close. I have just a couple couple of things to go over with you guys before we get back to our theme park. So if you have not heard, Universal Studios has an app. It's called the USH app. That's in Universal Studios Hollywood. Download that to your smartphone. It will give you the most up-to-date information on everything happening in the park. Once we pull up to the theme park unload line, please remain seated until the gates on the left are open for you. Don't forget to gather up all of your belongings. Hold on to your drinking glasses. We do have bins for you to toss those in. Those will be directly in front of you once you step off the vehicle. If you find yourself with questions, comments, concerns, look for someone with a blue shirt and name badge. We can all help you out. On behalf of me, your tour guide Lauren, our driver Faustino, we'd like to wish you guys a Tram